Hello, everyone, and welcome. So, today I actually wanted to talk about a topic I was talking about on my Miracle Mindset Monday. So, before I go any further, for those of you that don't know, um, I do a Miracle Mindset Monday, which is basically a live broadcast that I do on Facebook that's free, that I pull cards and I kind of give you a generalized reading for the week. Now, it's not personalized readings, it is just a generalized reading. Now, if you are interested in an actual Miracle Mindset personalized prescription, you can, of course, go visit my website and look about what that's about. But this week, we really talked about listening to the symphony within, being patient, sticking with it. And I can so identify with people who get discouraged when they're not hearing their guidance, when they don't hear guidance, and they're like, am I doing something wrong? And if I'm doing something wrong, will someone please tell me what it is that I'm doing wrong so I can fix it and so I can get the guidance? And I want to talk about two really big blocks that I had for receiving guidance. And the first big block that I had was I believed it had to come in a certain way. Like I had to hear a disembodied voice telling me what to do, or I had to hear or see, something, really big, really flashy, like you see on TV. And that was one of my biggest blocks because I was already in the mindset that it had to be a certain way. And if it didn't come in that certain way, that meant it wasn't really guidance. That means that I wasn't being guided and that was it for me. And so I had to really release and let go of all of those beliefs of how I thought guidance was supposed to come based on, what I saw on TV or maybe what I read in books. And I had to let all of that go. And I really had to come into myself and say, you know what? How is it that you best assimilate information in in the world of form? And I had to ask myself that and get really honest with myself and be like, how is it that I best, receive that information? And in doing that, it helped me to break down, let go of those barriers and walls that I had to, it has to come this way. It has to be like this. And once I let that go, that was such a great, huge step that I took. And it really allowed spirit to, communicate with me in a much easier, simpler way than what I was trying to make it do. The second big block that I had to receiving guidance was all about me really trying to play a game that Robin Duncan of miraclesforliving.org says is Come On God. She always says, don't play the Come On God game. And basically, the Come On God game is okay, God, I have a plan, or you can call it universe, you can call it spirit. I have a plan of this. And this is what I want to happen. This is how I want it to happen. And now I want you to tell me how to make that work. Come on, let's go. Where's the plan? Tell me how to get my plan to work. So instead of trying to get your plan to work, it's really about just letting that go, letting your plan go, your agenda go. And it's just about asking, what would you have me do? And you're asking Spirit, Spirit, what would you have me do in this moment? What would you have me say? We are all too apt in our society now that we need instant answers. Come on, give me an answer. Give me an answer. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I don't have time for this. I got places to be, people to see. And, we don't give ourselves enough time to take a step back and, just you can call it meditate, you can call it prayer, you can call it ask your angels, you can call it ask your guides, you can call it ask your intuition, ask your heart, ask your higher self, whatever it is. And we need to remember that we need to take that step back. We don't have to answer instantaneously. You can be like, can you just give me a day to think about it? Or, and if they say, well, it's just not going to last today and they're trying to, use that kind of tactic of pressuring you, then be like, okay, because you have to remember, whatever is for you will never pass you by. If it's for you, it's going to come back around. Don't worry. Okay? And so when it comes to asking for that guidance, it's not about God, tell me how my plan is going to work. It's more like, you know what? And I just use for my higher power, I just say God. It's just easier for me. But you can use whatever higher power or whatever verb or whatever noun, there you go, you use for your higher power. And I just like to say, God, what is it that you would have me do? And then it's not that I sit there in meditation for 45 minutes waiting for an answer. What would you have me do? Maybe I'll meditate for like 5 minutes. Maybe I'll just go do what is peaceful and compelling for me in that moment. Maybe I have to clean something up. Maybe I have to go make something. Maybe I have to go do something. And as I'm doing whatever I'm doing, whatever felt peaceful and compelling to do in that moment, as I'm doing that, maybe a thought comes into my head like, hey, you should do this, or hey, this would be a really great idea. Because the third, or it goes back to the first thing, I always used to believe that guidance had to be this big, booming voice from beyond telling me with great intensity exactly my next right step. When in fact, that's not really how guidance works because it is very subtle. Now, it's going to give you steps. It's going to say, hey, maybe go to the grocery store, or hey, maybe go over here, or hey, maybe pick up the phone and call this person. And it's going to be very gentle. It's very kind. Now, when I say gentle and kind, it doesn't mean that it will not be, you know, oh, you should pick up the phone and, in that kind of very soft. Guidance can be very, not persistent, yes, because if you keep on getting those same thoughts, but it can also be very direct. You need to go this way. Not, hey, meh. It's like, no, turn left. It's not, well, I mean, if you turn left, then this is going to happen. It's just turn left. And the third big block, and I wasn't going to talk about a third block, but I'm going to talk about one now. The third big block was, how do I know that this is guidance and not wishful thinking? And here's the best way that I have found to discern between the two for myself. You can use your own discernment. You can use my list as a skeleton for a like a skeletal structure for your own list, for your own discernment. But what I have learned is that guidance is peaceful, is compelling, has to be both of those in conjunction together. It's peaceful, it's compelling. It's not something that you would normally think. It's loving, it's kind, it's not pushy. Um it's not fueled by anxiety. It's just a thought. And it comes in and it goes out. It's not screaming at you, it's not yelling at you. It's just turn this way. That's it. Now, how can we tell if it's wishful thinking? And the best way to do that, because it is born of anxiety. You feel anxious even as you're thinking it. It's born of anxiety. It's very hurried. It basically yells at you, and it demeans you as well. That's how you can tell it's wishful thinking or it's coming from that lower aspect of yourself, because it's very pushy. It's very mean. Um, it's it's not going to feel so much peaceful and compelling. It might feel really compelling, like I have to call this person today. It has to be done. Oh my God, if I don't do it today, then the whole world will end. That's not, it's got to be peaceful and compelling for it to be that guidance from spirit. So that is all that I really wanted to discuss with you guys today. I thank you so much for being here. I thank you so much for joining me. If you are interested in that Miracle Mindset personalized prescription, and I'll put the link in the description below. And if you are interested in learning how to tune into your own inner guidance, I do have my 8 weeks of guidance course opening in October. Right now I have open enrollment, and I will put that in the description below as well. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for being here. And I send you all of my love.